Hello there again, everybody. This is going to be Rakdos Midrange league number 2. This is actually my third league with the deck. I intended to have another league recorded and posted a couple days ago, but unfortunately my upload speed went to crap in the middle of the league. I started having internet issues, and for whatever reason, Streamlabs saw that as a reason to also stop the recording, and I didn't realize that the recording didn't stop. I didn't realize that the recording stopped until literally the middle of the 5th match, and it had stopped in match 2. So that entire league was scrapped, but not a whole lot of exciting stuff was missed. There were some tight plays, some less tight plays. I mean, it wasn't a very exciting league. I think it would have been a fine league for content, but nothing stellar was missed out on. And I can just go ahead and tell you the result. It was another 2-3. We had lost to a few big mana decks, and we beat some of the more mid-rangey decks, including an Uro deck. And then I think in the final round, we played our first combo deck, which was the Hammer deck, and we ended up losing to that. So you're all caught up. So my combined record with this deck so far is 4-6, not good. And I'm just going to run it back once more and really try to get a feel for this specific list. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to assume one of two things. First, I would assume that maybe the deck just isn't what I want it to be. Or secondly, maybe it just requires far more editing or refinement to be what I do want it to be. So, I mean, overall, so far, the deck feels medium powerful. It definitely has some individually powerful cards like Blood Moon and Hazoret and Kroxa, but they all require some work to get going, with the exception of maybe Blood Moon. That's kind of just matchup dependent. In theory, this deck seems like it's going to be pretty strong, but my results so far haven't been great with it. But I'm just one person, so let's just keep on getting some data. Let's take a look at the current modern metagame. We've got the Uro pile still in at first, surprise, surprise. Hammer Time actually going all the way up to second, supplanting Rakdos Shadow. And we've got Rakdos Midrange, which is what we're playing. And you've got your various other Uro piles, toolbox cards, toolbox decks, and combo decks like Heliod Company, and Oops All Spells, and Dredge if you want to call it a combo deck. Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump into the league. Sand's a bit land heavy, but we've got one of our better threats. We've got a Thought Season we got to push, and given the opponent has revealed Lurrus, it's more likely than not they're either playing Hammer Time or a Shadow deck, and this hand's probably okay versus either of those. One too many lands, but I think mulliganing this and getting a worse hand is going to feel really, really bad. Alright, and it is Hammer Time. Wow. Alright, well, I'm going to lead with the Thoughtseize. And let's see where that gets us. We can have a hammer or a hammer. Let's take a hammer. And then the first thing that gets equipped, I can use the Fatal Push. Alright, Lurrus in hand. Another land, pretty bad. Well, I guess I'm just gonna cast Kroxa here. If the opponent can equip a hammer this turn, they would have to draw the spell that enables it. So this is probably a fine time to just cast the Kroxa. What's up, Bunny? No, I did not hear about the new spice. Got a link? Or you can describe it if your memory's good. We got a hammer. Oh, the Tybalt thing. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the front side is like 2 mana, 2/1, and like you get to take a card for as long as it's in the field, and then like you can like copy it for by paying X or something, and then like it flips into a walker of some kind. It's pretty cool. All right, so we're definitely killing Luris here. Another land, geez. And I've kept the fetch, so now we'll have Revolt. I guess I want to keep the Triome in the deck in case I want to like end up cycling it for whatever reason. Yeah, that is true. I'm assuming that's how the rule works. That you could just cascade into either side and pick it. I know though, like that used to be how the rules worked for like the split cards that were split on both sides. For example, Boom Bust, and they thought that was pretty oppressive, so they ended up changing the rule. That I don't know that that's going to be the case this time around, but it could happen. He drew a Hazoret. That's pretty interesting. If I play the Hazoret, it doesn't actually get to attack yet. I think I might just want to play the Blood Moon because we could turn off potential plays like the double white card that has Metalcraft equipping. So I think I'm just going to just play the Blood Moon here. This Hazoret doesn't actually do anything right now either. Yeah, I mean it does cost 7 mana, but the modes on it aren't fantastic, right? Like the plus isn't the plus. I remember the plus is pretty inconsequential, and like the -3 is like exile a creature, and then the ultimate was like exile graveyards, add 3 red. Like that doesn't seem great. I mean it's probably pretty powerful to do it on turn 4 off of a Bloodbraid. Don't get me wrong, but if that's not exactly what happens, I'm not really convinced that it's awesome. I can bring it up. Ooh. Yeah, here's the back side of it. Yeah, exile the top and you can like play them, right? Yeah, it could be okay. I guess like if you look at it strictly from a card advantage perspective, I mean seven mana is a lot if you can't exactly cascade into it. Alright, we have again drawn a land. Pretty unfortunate. Alright, and plating is probably just going to end up beating us. We just like haven't drawn anything. Yeah, like the passive lets you exile. The +2, it's each player's library. Okay, it's not just each opponent. Yeah, each player is obviously better than each opponent. Costs a lot of mana. Like, it's always easy to say, like, look at the best case and look how insane it would be in best case, but I think, like, average case is something that should be considered more, and average case I don't think is that great. Oh, yeah, it's spicy for sure. Alright, yeah, this plating is going to knock us down real quick. This thing is already pretty thick. Yep. So we can get Hazard online by discarding cards. Let's draw a spell, please. Alright, not ideal, but it is a spell. It's a spell that goes to the yard for maybe escaping Kroxa at some point. There goes a hammer. Alright, and then yeah, I'm definitely just discarding a card here. I'll attack first so the opponent doesn't have the info. There's like almost no way they block this though. Yeah, it could be just become an Uro. That's kind of funny. Alright, and then I think I'm just passing here, and then at the opponent's end step I can ditch the Crypt to the Hazard ability and then look to escape the Kroxa. Still gonna need to find a way to deal with the plating, or at least the creature the plating is on. Shadow Spear. Yep. Doesn't actually change the clock. Gonna need to find a way to shoot this Ornithopter out of the sky. And even then, I'll have to find a way to kill the other one. Channeler. That does not do it. I'm just dead. Alright, so an unfortunate flood here in game 1. We've got some good tools sideboarded, though. We get to bring in the Kolaghan's commands. We get to bring in the Feed the Swarms. This is another removal spell, and it can also kill their auto-equip enchantment. As far as fighting the Lurrus plant is concerned, I like the spell bombs a decent amount. I don't think I really want the Soul Guide Lantern. Explosives also is going to be excellent. Cletus is a consideration, but it seems like it could be a bit slow. What do I want to take out? On the play, the Veils are probably fine. Hazoret does seem pretty slow. Let's see what else. It's honestly not a whole lot. I mean, I guess like the removal that I'm bringing in is probably better than the Sorcery Speed Dreadbore, so I'll take the Dreadbores out. The Blood Moons seem like they do almost nothing, so let's do that for sure. And then maybe like one Liliana of the Veil, just because it's our most expensive piece of removal. I would like cutting a Kroxa, but we've already cut a Hazoret, and I don't want to go too low on the hard-hitting threats. I could see taking out like a single copy of an Inquisition or Thoughtseize. These games could go pretty long, despite the opponent being a combo deck, and like these cards are pretty bad draws later on. This seems fine. Yeah, stands fine. We've got the Triome. I could just go Swamp and then Spell Bomb, or I could just play Swamp and hold up the push, and then resign myself to not playing a 2-mana thing. I think I'll probably just get the Triome down now. I don't really need this. There's no like rush to get the Spell Bomb down. Its most relevant interaction is I think with the Lurrus, which is far away from being a factor. I think I'd just rather have the potential to have more mana sooner. Good start again. So I wonder if I should just be pushing that Ornithopter, kind of a way to just bolt the bird. Having the Liliana makes me feel more inclined to actually do that, because the Liliana's Edict is weaker the more creatures the opponent has in play. I mean, this cuts the opponent off mana. It makes me less resilient to disrupting a combo, but for now it cuts the opponent off of mana, and I think that's probably fine. I think there's a good argument to not doing this because I only have the one removal spell. But I mean, I like I said, I like taking the opponent off of mana, and because I have the Liliana, reducing the total number of creatures in play. Sure. Auriok Champion. That's going to be an annoying one. So I could Liliana minus, but unfortunately they've got another creature with power. I mean, I think I should probably still do it. Playing either one of these other cards doesn't really achieve a whole lot. I mean, if they sacrifice the Auriok Champion, I'm pretty happy. And if they sacrifice the Memnite, I'm also pretty okay. Alright. So Champion can take care of Liliana, which is not annoying. So the Lurrus here, not yet in hand. plating. That was a fast plating. Another land. Not good. I mean, I guess one of the better ways I'm winning this game is attacking with a Kroxa fast and heavy. I mean, same could be said for Hazoret, though. If I play Hazoret now, I can't actually escape it, or I can't actually attack with it, but Kroxa isn't very close to escaping either. So I think I should just spend the most mana and cast this Hazoret, and then start jamming with it next turn. The demon? No, I only saw the Tybalt and like some of the I saw that there were like snow duels with basic land types. And that seems egregious to me. I don't know what to expect from those, but I don't expect it's anything good. Wish I had a Plague Engineer right about now. Yeah, they are tapped, but the issue is they have basic types, so they're fetchable. Pyromancer, that's a good one. I almost don't want to play this Blackleaf Cliffs just so I can discard it and feed this Kroxa. I don't think that's insane. It's like fourth mana really doesn't do a whole lot for me. Yeah, let's ditch it. Get the card in the yard. Obviously ditching Kroxa as well. Just yield to these already. I'll take a peek at the spoiler in a sec. Kolaghan's Command. That's a good way to deal with plating. Alright, I need to play this so Kroxa... Sorry, Hazoret can attack. Obviously can't really attack super well right now. Is there anything I could draw off of the Spellbomb sacrifice that would warrant me wanting to sacrifice this now? Yeah, spoilers are a fun time. I think I want to sacrifice the Spellbomb now, just because I also want to just put cards in the yard for this Kroxa. If I draw a fetch land next turn, I can escape the Kroxa. So, I mean, this is getting sacked sometime soon anyway. I could also just draw, like, an Inquisition or Thoughtseize here, and, like, those 6 cards in the deck aren't going to be good for much longer anyway. So, I mean, this is probably a fine timing. Alright. I guess that's another thing that makes me content with having sacked it. So, here's another spoiler. Ooh, come back. Boast, Death Touch. Target player searches library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. And then Boast is like if it attacked. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right. There's got to be a reminder text on one of these. Boast. Target player searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts it on top of it. Activate this ability only if this creature attacked this turn and only once each turn. So that creature must to have attacked. Could be cool. Alright, so this Kolaghan's Command almost assuredly going after plating and something. Shadow Spear. Yep. I mean, luckily Shadow Spear won't actually punch for a lot of damage after the plating goes away. The opponent's got 1 card in hand, and I'm pretty sure we don't know the identity of that card. I am unable to block its protection. Can't exactly do that right now. I want this Hazoret to attack, which means I would have to empty a card. So, I mean, I guess I could just Kolaghan's Command now. Look, it's looking like I want to. And then I guess the question is, what do I kill between Ornithopter and Stoneforge? I think it's just Ornithopter. Ornithopter is the flying threat. Maybe the flying doesn't actually matter because their creatures are gonna have some amount of evasion anyway. So maybe I should just be killing the artifact to make maybe future cranial platings worse. Also, reducing artifacts could be good for potentially the metalcraft creature. Alright, so definitely killing that. And I guess I will just kill the flyer. And the opponent could put the Shadow Spear onto the Stoneforge, which would make me not have a good block on the Pyraments. Or I guess on the Stoneforge, but I guess I could double block. I'll hit attack for just the 5. And then more likely than not, I'll be sacrificing the Spellbomb to dig towards more ways to interact. But next turn for sure, I'm going to plan on escaping Kroxa. This protection is really bogging me down. There's the Paladin. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. They've got 2 artifacts now, but they can activate Inkmoth if they really felt like it. It's the same cost as just like equipping the Shadow Spear though, right? Oh, 2. Okay. Alright, they want to do it. Sure. Alright, so yeah. Sure. Wow, last card was a Stoneforge. It's a pretty good leftover. Yeah, I think this matchup's probably fine. Just double Auriok Champion has been pretty rough. I think Jund probably. I don't know that it gets better with these 2 cards. They don't seem particularly outstanding to me. Like they seem fine where they're good, but I mean, the trick is finding the stuff that's good in most places as opposed to very good in a few. Are these all have equip 0? I'm just I'm just dead, right? Come on. I don't think Jund can be great as long as Uro exists, unfortunately. I'm fairly confident that the 3-mana wolf is not good enough. Like, it needs a lot of time to be good. Like, you need to have time to actually have permanents leave your opponent's side of the field. And before that happens, it's a 3-mana 3/3, and that just doesn't seem very good. So I need to find my other copy of Kolaghan's Command here in order to deal with the extremely high power. Oh, hey. That's a good one. That's a way to deal with all of my opponent's creatures. Wow, that was really excellent. I'm glad I didn't concede. Seems good. And I know that Hazard can't attack if I don't bolt here, but I do think I want to hold the bolt for the first creature the opponent has. I forgot that the explosives was my answer. Pretty happy that it's here, though. Alright, they played this hammer. 3rd Auriok Champion. Stupid. They drew that off the top, too. How brutal is that? Alright, I need my other explosives. Inquisition does nothing. I mean, I guess I can save the Inquisition for when the opponent inevitably puts Luris into their hand. I mean, this is probably a good a turn as any to get a Kroxa into play. And then I guess my graveyard is pretty inconsequential. I guess like spells kind of matter because I'm playing the Arcanist. So I guess I'll leave the Kolaghan's Command in the push. Any way to get back explosives? I don't believe so. I'm not like playing Aluris or anything. So if the opponent attacks me, I've got a pretty good sized smack back. So they almost just can't attack unless they draw something good. Still somehow win this after that explosives came in off the top. There's one other actual copy of explosives in the deck though, so we could just draw the other copy, which would be lucky. Luris to hand. Yep. We've got an Inquisition. We could also just like attack with Kroxa. I guess they could be holding the other card in hand with the realization that this would potentially have them save it. They're attacking. Alright, well I can't block. Let's take the Luris. We've got to play our cards so that our stuff can attack. So let's just give them everything we got. Then I have to attack before I play the Pyromancer, or else I won't be able to attack with the Hazoret. Do I even want to play the Seasoned Pyromancer right now? I have to fetch Shock going to 6. I mean, they're already so low. Let's just pass here. Yeah, that attack I think was a little loose. It was like they're at a virtual 11 now, assuming they block like a Kroxa or something. Now that they've played their land, they played their card, which was a land anyway. So they're at a virtual 8 off of an attack. They can like block, take 3. Yeah, I mean they're in a spot. All right, I'll fetch. I think I'm gonna end up probably just discarding this Pyromancer to the Kroxa. So if that's the case, do I just do it now? I think so. If we really need to, we can always exile the Pyromancer. But I think getting the opponent as close to dead as possible is going to be advantageous. And that's effectively a Lightning Bolt, but -1, so it's a shock. It's a shock to the face. We can also cast and escape it, so I think we're actually green-lighted. Just attack all. You'll go to 4. So again, given the Auriok champion, each entering the battlefield means they're gaining 1, and it goes active player, non-active player. So theirs will resolve first, meaning that this does 4, not 5. Alright, you gotta do something or you die right now. Yeah, they needed the block with the Blink Moth as well. Alright, so an explosives came in clutch. Yeah, I mean, three copies of that stupid sideboard card are really rough. Do I want to bring in the other copy of Thoughtseize just as a means of taking it proactively? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to resubmit. Funny thing I had to consider is that I can Pithing Needle to shut off an equipment. If I can Pithing Needle before it gets into play, I can make it so it can't be equipped. It's kind of cute. The opponent has so many good different equipments though, and they can tutor them at will with the Stoneforges, that's probably just not good enough. Like, I'm worried about exactly Hammer. Like, sure, it cuts off 4 hammers, but Stoneforge plus the 1 equipment is basically 5 of each equipment. I don't think that's going to be good. we have a keeper. So we've got the Liliana if the opponent has an Auriok champion. So that's nice. We got to keep the board clear for that to be good. Alright, we almost have to take like a hammer now or something. Let's just see what they've got. Thoughtseize. Alright. They had a turn 2 attack for 11, but now they've got essentially nothing. Attack for 1 instead, yep. Alright, I'm probably going to end up sacrificing this spell bomb here to try to find some interaction. Like, we've got the Liliana, but they could activate Inkmoth and sacrifice that if they feel so inclined. Really don't want them to find a hammer here. Alright, that was one of the new ones. They found the hammer. Pretty brutal. So yeah, now a Liliana doesn't even do it because they can just sack whatever the hammer isn't on, which I'm assuming is going to be the Stoneforge. Oh, interesting. So I guess they're afraid of me responding to an equip by just killing their thing. I mean, I didn't have it, but they didn't know I didn't have it. Let's see if we can find it. And then Bolt doesn't particularly work because the hammer would actually just save it from the bolt. It has to be pushed, and there it is. Okie dokie. So if for whatever reason they decide to hold the play again, I can next turn Liliana and Fatal Push. I think if they don't hammer me, I'm just not going to Fatal Push. I'm going to save the Fatal Push for when they go for a combo. Meyer go. If they're brave enough, they could go for the one shot with the Inkmoth. Just gonna say, okay, take the damage. Yeah, and then sacrificing the Bloodstained Mire means I won't have Revolt for the eventual Luris. But I mean, this push is pretty much resigned to killing whatever is holding a hammer. So I think I'm just gonna have to draw more removal to deal with the Luris. Inquisition. I mean, that's a way to deal with the Luris as well. I could also just Inquisition now in order to take the hammer, and they'll just be forced to use it now. But I think I like the position of getting the Liliana down. I mean, they're going to be forced to attack it, so maybe it's not even worth it to get the Liliana down. Maybe I should just be using it as like a last thing. It's an interesting spot. So let me think it through. So if I Liliana minus, the opponent can, I guess, just like activate an Inkmoth, sacrifice Inkmoth, and we're still at this funny Colossus Hammer stalemate. Alternatively, if I Inquisition now and the opponent just casts their hammer in response, I'll then have to Fatal Push whatever. I think I like the line where I continue to have the instant speed interaction in hand as opposed to forcing myself to use it immediately. So even though this Liliana isn't killing anything major, I think it's fine to play it here. I could just plus. That's another interesting line I could take. That would have it sticking around for at least another attack cycle. I mean, it's not killing anything super meaningful. So it's possible a plus is just fine to eat at the hand. The issue is, like, we know they've got dead cards. I'm just going to pop off an Edict here. I expect, like, an Inkmoth to go or, like, the Stoneforge. I guess Stoneforge is strictly better than Memnite. Memnite aids with the Metalcraft plan, though. Alright, so they're valuing the body, I suppose. Yeah, and then like next turn I can make the Inquisition play. Interesting spot though. They kind of have to go after this Liliana as well. I hope they just like put Luris into their hand or something. Sure. Don't think I'm ahead. I guess what needs to happen? I need to draw Kolaghan's Command. That would be the best case. They're sending one at each. All right. Well, I'm not gonna push because then I just die to hammer. Liliana not bad. So I think what I'm gonna do here, I'm definitely gonna play Liliana and Inquisition in a push. The order is just the question is what order do I want to do it all in? So I can Edict first without the opponent knowing I'm gonna Inquisition, or I can Inquisition first without the opponent knowing I'm gonna Edict. I think what I'm gonna do is Edict first, because the Inquisition is my choice, whereas what the opponent sacrifices is their choice. So I think I want them to make their choice with the least information, and they would have more information if I Inquisition first. So I think Liliana is what I want to do primarily. This might evoke a hammer. And then push can kill the Stoneforge at any stage, so I don't really need to respond to this. Alright, I got a Paladin. Alright, I don't think they're going to be playing any protection spells, so I'll just pass. See what kind of attacks they make. They still have access to Luris. Yep. So I could push the Inkmoth Nexus as a means of keeping the Liliana alive. That would have me going to 2 though, and that's pretty low. I mean, that would leave the opponent with their huge thing still in play. I think it's probably too greedy. I think I should probably just kill the thing that's huge. It also kind of just strands a hammer. Alright, here comes Luris, I suppose. Yep. Channeler. Not bad. Unfortunately, Hazoret cannot start attacking. I mean, I think I'm going to need to find more bolts and pushes, because Stoneforge finding another hammer, or even Pure Steel Paladin making the equips cost 0 is a way that I die pretty easily. So I think what I'm going to end up doing here is casting Channeler and then casting Seasoned Pyromancer. casting Pyromancer first means I can, whatever I draw, I can have up, though. If the opponent played this. So if the opponent goes land, Pure Steel Paladin, activate Ink Moth, they'll have 1 mana remaining, and they'll have 2 artifacts. They could then activate the other Ink Moth and have the equip for 0. So I think I need to Pyromancer first and then try to draw interaction, because I do just die if I don't find something. Not quite. I mean, they don't know that. If I cast Croxa here, I just die. Well, I guess they would have to Luris first. I don't even necessarily just die. What I need now is an explosives. Where's the Kolaghan's command when you need it? Come on, Kolaghan's command. I think I've got a pretty good shot if I find a Kolaghan's command. I can, like, kill this Luris, kill this hammer. Put a hammer on a Luris, yeah. Alright, well, I can't kill the Luris anymore. I mean, I guess I kind of have to shock this and play a Pyromancer and, like, try to find a Kolaghan's command. I can still kill Hammer and deal 2 to the Luris. Yeah, I mean, I think that's my out. So let's pay the 2, cast Pyromancer, and just really dig for that Kolaghan's command. There are 2. Not quite. I mean, they gotta go for it, but the Eclipse costing 0 make it really easy to go for. And that gives trample. Oh, yeah. Alright, I'm dead. GG's. Yeah, I mean, I think that matchup's supposed to be at least even, if not favorable, and I'm not having a great record against it. Like I mentioned, I played it in the league that I accidentally didn't get on camera, and I lost there as well. We've got Basic Mountain. Can't keep that. Nurturing Peatland. With some castables. I think I'm going to ship it anyway. I mean, if we find exactly red source, even then this hand's not that good. Like the Thoughtseize are pretty likely to be good, but the pushes could just be a dead card. We don't know yet. Yeah, I think I got a ship. Alright, this is the best I've seen. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna bottom 2 channelers. Keep 2 threats, 2 lands, and a way to interact. It's Tron. Alright, I think since I know that the bottom 2 cards aren't Blood Moon, I'm just not going to fetch here. Also, I'm pretty likely to want to just get basic Swamp anyway. Ah, Eldrazi Tron. We found the land. Have not found the Blood Moon. I guess I could dig for it. This Inquisition isn't actually castable anymore. Jeez. I guess I'll take the Delta with the intention of just sacking it now. I want to put cards in the yard for potential Croxas. I need the red. Alright, not bad. Liliana can kill the first big thing as long as it's not Thought-Knots here. And it's Thought-Knots here, of course. Live like a land here. Hey, there's the moon. It's probably a good time to play moon. Keeps them off of all their colorless. Obviously, they could, like, have a waste. They can't map for a waste, though, because map would get countered. So that's nice. Chalice on 2. Yeah, okay. That's pretty annoying. I guess I still have Hazoret as a good way to win. Croxa no longer a win con. And it's pretty nice that like the cards that do actual nothing in the face of the chalices, they can at least get cycled into a channeler. I'll play a mountain. Dreadbore, uncastable. Guess I'll ditch the Dreadbore so I'm a spell closer towards growing this thing. Hey, there's Liliana. I can cast that one. Oh, no, I can't. I only have 1 swamp. We're dead. Chalice, really good versus the deck that costs all 1 and 2. Golagon's Command. Colitas? I mean, Chandra kills Thought Knot, which is good. I can Needle just for Karn. What am I cutting for these 6? Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes are going to get bad pretty quickly. I guess I want to keep Thoughtseize since most of the Eldrazi cost a lot. Push is only killing Thought Knot and I guess like Matter Reshaper. Lightning Bolt isn't really killing a lot. Let's trim on those. I mean, Kalidas really doesn't outsize much. I mean, once it grows, even once it'll outsize most things, though, so that's nice. I think I'm going to play it. I just need 3 cuts, and I'm not sure what they should be. Maybe it can be like a Channeler. A Fatal Push, since it doesn't kill a whole wide array of things, and maybe like a Thoughtseize. Yeah, I mean, the disruption does feel pretty bad in the top deck core. Yeah. We got 2 Tron lands and the map. Well, I guess I'm taking the map. They do have the Karn, so there's something I can Pithing Needle. I could take like Matter Reshaper and just like Pithing Needle, naming map. They cannot Warping Whale it because it's not a creature. I think I'm just meant to prevent the Tron as much as I can. I'm gonna want the Needle for this Karn. Pretty sure. We dealt with the Reshaper. That feels good. Land, please. Cool. So playing Moon here puts us out of the position of being able to escape the Kroxa, but I think it's probably worth it. We've got 3 basic swamps that we're drawing to, but if we don't hit it, we've still got Pyromancers that are alive. Sure. So they'll have 1 shot at a colorless mana. So I mean they can go land Karn, then we can Pithing Needle the Karn. Okay. So now that they're not close to Karn mana, I'm probably just going to Season Pyromancer. I mean, that has me discarding Kolaghan's Command and the Needle, though. I don't think I want to really discard those. I'm definitely okay discarding Push. I mean, is it crazy to discard Kolaghan's Command? It's not doing a whole lot right now. The issue is, like, if the opponent plays a Chalice on 1, Kolaghan's Command is one of the few ways I have to get out from under it. It's pretty rough. Yeah, I think I'm playing this Pyromancer, and then I'm just going to bite the bullet. Discard the Kolaghan's Command and hope they don't have the Chalice. If they had the Chalice, they probably would have played it by now. Hey, we drew a Swamp. So now we get to escape the Kroxa if we can get another card in the yard. Alright, so this is going to be Karn. the great creator. Go. Yeah, it's kind of hard to just do nothing with the mana there. Like, I could have just Pithing Needled, but it doesn't use my mana very efficiently. Natural Tron, but we got the Blood Moon. Doing it. So I guess I could attack with the Seasoned Pyromancer here, and then if the opponent blocks, I can escape the Kroxa now. I think the opponent is going to see that and not block, so let's just attack. And then if they don't block, I'll just go land Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay. Next turn then. I guess I could have kept Swamp in hand to intentionally discard, just to make sure I have the 5th card in the yard. Alright, they got the colorless, yep. Annoying. Okay, so the opponent doesn't know that I don't have that I have a way to get the 5th card into the yard, so I think the attack is only free if I attack first. They could still just block. Alright, so Kroxa. And I'll do this before playing the land, because again, I don't want the opponent to know that I'm able to escape Kroxa right now. There. Alright, double Karn. Yep. Did it. Alright, Blood Moon did the thing. Don't really feel like changing a whole lot here. Like I could bring in more disruption and more removal, but none of them seem particularly impactful. Just usually draw with a 1-for-1 with a drawback. Yeah, I mean, if they've got a fast Thought Knot, we've got the answer to it. We've got an Inquisition for like an early Reshaper or something. Dreadbore for a big thing. We've got a Kroxa. It's not impressive, but I don't think I'm ever shipping this. They mulliganed though. How lucky. Relic. Okay. It's going to be annoying for the Kroxa at least. Did we hit anything? Nope. No bueno. There's a Blood Moon. So if the opponent Thought Knots here, I guess I do respond. Like, I've got the Sorcery Speed answer to it, so it's not like they can take me off a way to kill it. But yeah, this is the best thing that a push is ever going to kill, so I might as well just pop it off. Save the Dreadbore for later. Like, I can Blood Moon here, but the opponent can still just, like, play a land and play the Karn. Which I've got Dreadbore for. Oh, they took Dreadbore. Yeah, I guess they really are just planning on Karning here. Whoa. Okay. Do I just do that now? I'm thinking I do. I guess I'll Kroxa first so they discard all that information. Because if I Needle now and then Kroxa, they're just gonna discard the Karn. And I don't want that happening. Field of the Dead. Okay. Karn the Great Creator. Alright, let's get the Karn down anyway. I can no longer activate Pithing Needle. Okay, so now I could either take a land out of my deck or save a life. I think I'm probably just gonna prioritize the life over it. Alright, let's hope the moon does work. Kroxa. Oh, there's still a relic in play. So I think I'm just going to Pyromancer here and cash in my 2 cards for elementals. Not bad. Hazoret's going to hit hard. So I wonder if there's ever a way that the opponent can remove Pithing Needle. I could just attack the Karn and make sure that if they do somehow get rid of Pithing Needle, I'll be okay. But I really don't think there's much that can get rid of it outside of like a Blast Zone, but I've got the Blood Moon covering that. That's an interesting draw, but I think I just want to get the opponent dead here. No Karn. You. 2-turn clock. Did it? Well, I mean, Blood Moon did it twice there. Yeah, seems fine. We need it to be a matchup where removal is actually good. And the opponent revealed Gigantha. I mean, that could be Tron. It could also be the new blue-green Emery deck that plays Keenan. They have mulligan to 5. I guess it's more likely Tron then. Please don't play a tower. Alright, it's Eldrazi. Okay. So this will probably be Blood Crypt into basic Swamp. If they go Thought Not Seer here, we can Fatal Push. Got him. So yeah, I guess I'll just get the Blood Crypt here, make the mana better, faster. I could always get basic Swamp with the Bloodstained Mire. Alright, maybe I don't get it anymore because I just drew a Swamp. The opponent's so low on resources already. They did mulligan to 5. It makes me want to just pressure the resources even more by casting Kroxa. But when they've still got cards in hand, maybe it's better just to save Kroxa to be the last thing. They took the Seasoned Pyromancer. We already had another one too. Interesting. Alright, so I think I'm going to play the Channeler. Because like I said, I think I want the Kroxa to hit the last thing in the hand. Red. Interesting. I've seen Gruel Eldrazi a long time ago. And they just put Gigantha in hand, sure. Would you Thoughtseize? Also sure. I guess I'm going to end up getting basic Swamp for potential Blood Moons. But my hand's pretty red hungry. I could just Seasoned Pyromancer here, but I think I'm going to want all the cards in my hand. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cast Kroxa, and then after they've discarded a card, I can then like shock Thoughtseize. Again, Kroxa-ing first, so they make their decision with the least info. Might end up just taking a Gigantha here. Alright, it is Gruel. So they've got Bone Crusher and a Gigantha. I think I'm just going to take the Bone Crusher. They're pretty far from casting the Gigantha, and when they do, I just Dreadbore it. Huge mana swing. A mana tempo advantage. Feeling good. They could still just draw a Smasher and put me down. I mean, I've got the Dreadbore for it. Alright, they don't draw it though. Nice. Alright, so we could also just Thoughtseize the Gigantha. Another way to deal with it. Thoughtseize is going to be dead pretty soon, so let's just go ahead and fire this off now. Also, doing this now and then casting Pyromancer means that the Magmatic Channeler is going to become a 4/4. Then I guess I should get a Swamp here in the event that we draw Blood Moon, but they've got their colors. Now, let's just get the Mountain. Our hand's more likely to want red, so let's get a Mountain. In the next turn, we have a Kroxa on deck. Oof, Liliana can take care of whatever we need. Yeah, this game is, I think, in the bag. Famous last words. Alright, cool. Was gonna bolt and then escape the Kroxa. Should have been plenty lethal. Alright, so Gruel. As far as I remember, they're not playing stuff like Karn. And Kolaghan's command is weaker because they have fewer artifacts. They can't play Chalice because they've got a lot of stuff like the Nobles and Birds. Cletus should be fine. Chandra's still probably also fine. Kills most things and just that aren't most non-reality smasher creatures. That's probably it. I mean, Feed is another thing that kills a creature, but it does so at like a heavy life total detriment. I think I'm gonna like cut a Thoughtseize. And they're playing like birds and stuff, so I think pushes are probably better here than against Eldrazi Tron. And then Moon's probably just weaker in general on the draw, especially when the opponent knows that they should be getting their forests. So we've got Inquisition into Seasoned Pyromancer. That seems like it's gotta be too slow. Better. Something we can push off a cliff. Yep. Yeah, the Gruel version is pretty cool because you can more consistently turn to a Thought Knot. Usually you only need like a single temple. Alright, I think I'm going to keep the Polluted Delta for now, just as maybe a future way to enable Revolt. Yeah, Obligator's a cool one. Domery. Swamp. Alright, well I think I'm going to fetch a Swamp. I think fetching is probably better than playing Swamp because I need the cards in the yard for the Kroxas. And then I suppose I want... I'm going to want to... if I find a fetch land, I can escape Kroxa no matter what. I mean, if I bin a Kroxa right now, I can get an Elemental. But I think probably just having the card in hand to have the opponent discard might just be better. I'll just ditch the lands. Alright, it turned out okay. So yeah, fetch land almost definitely means escaping Kroxa. I want to get that out of there before they can have like a relic or something. Then if I find the land here, I can like bolt the Hierarch and then Liliana down whatever it is they're about to play. Unless it's a Thought Knot. Okay. They can kill my Pyromancer if they want by fighting. I guess no, they just made a mana. Yep, there goes Lily. Another Seasoned Pyromancer. Probably just gonna play that. I mean, I guess I get to attack with my Seasoned Pyromancer into the Domery, and if they block for whatever reason, I can then bolt it. So I think if I attack first, the attack is almost free. Like, if they bolt this, that's fine. Sure. So does this change anything? The opponent has one card left. I could Lightning Bolt the Noble Hierarch and just cast the Kroxa. That makes my Pyromancer more actual card advantage. But it means I won't have the bodies to potentially trade with the Thought Knot. I like getting the opponent's last card out of hand. And just like cutting them off of mana. They've got still 4 mana, which is annoying. But I think right now resources is the one aspect of the game I think I can pull ahead on. Because like if I can escape a Kroxa next turn and the opponent draws a blank here, I could just be ahead. Oh, oof. Maybe not. Would love to escape a Kroxa here. That won't do it. Maybe I should have kept the land. Yeah, it's like now even if I escape a Kroxa and block, I'm still taking 5, which is Xaxes. I mean, Delta means I get to push the Thought Knot, which is a start to something. It's gonna have to find something else. There is something else. Here's a 4/4. Okay, that was fortunate. The opponent can cast a Gigantha if they want. I think I'm gonna need this bolt to kill the Bloodbraid Elf, because I don't want to trade. Or maybe I should be trading, actually. Oh, they just drew another Bloodbraid. Alright, well, bird is something I can survive. I mean, I bolt the Bloodbraid, trade for the other, escape a Kroxa. Three powers worth of birds in the air. Chandra. That doesn't do anything, does it? Pretty sure I still have to Kroxa here. It's just I don't really know how I'm killing these birds, funny enough. I didn't bring in engineered explosives. Death by birds of paradise. I mean, I guess I could attack the Domery down. Yeah, I mean, without the Domery, the birds don't actually... The birds don't actually have any power. I mean, I still just die to something like a Reality Smasher, but there's not much I can do about that. I guess let's do 2 to the opponent here. Play a land and say go. Alright, I may be turning the corner, but there's a lot that just does me in. Land does not do me in. Another lands. Alright, well, I guess I'll lead on a plus, see what I hit. Because if it's like a hazard, I'm definitely gonna want to cast it. Man, imagine an Obligator off of the top. Blackleaf Cliffs. I mean, if they Obligator off of the top, I've got Seasoned Pyromancers to exile from my yard in order to exactly not die. Domery kills me. Bloodbraid makes it difficult. It is an Obligator. Oh, I just die because of the trigger. Yeah, unfortunately, I drew a land, so even had I remembered that interaction, it would not have mattered. Yeah, trigger kills me. Death by my own Croxa. Just because my opponent threatened me with birds, I don't think I want to bring in explosives, and I don't think I want Needle just for a Domri. All right, let's resubmit. That was a mulligan to 5, wasn't it? Oof. Don't think I can keep a 5 lander, even if I do have 1-drop, 2-drop. This hand's good. I'm pretty far from the Hazoret. I think I'm going to bin that. And then I'll get... with the intention of Blood Moon being good, I think I'll get basic Swamp here. If I draw another basic Swamp, it'll be awkward for the Pyromancer, but it's a pretty low risk. Opponent also mulligans. Take your bird. We got 2 temples and a smasher, though. Hopefully this moon can shut that off. They don't even have their basic forest either. Shock? Is this a bird? No, it's a green source. Alright, well I could kill it, but I think I'm going to prioritize the opponent not just reality smashing me here. They'll get to Bloodbraid, which is annoying. This was like the window they needed to draw the green source. And I guess I'll Blood Crypt here. It's going to make it hard to escape Croxas, but I need to be able to cast this Pyromancer. Alright, I'm not blocking a Bloodbraid, so I guess I'm attacking. So there goes my thing. Yeah. Yep. Alright, that was a fine draw. I can now take the opponent off of the color. And I'll probably just end up bolting this Bloodbraid. It revealed that bolt. Rabblemaster. Alright, so I have a stop at the beginning of combat already. I guess I need to do it at the main, right? Zap. Because it's at the beginning of combat, so I need to do it in the main. So I know the opponent's hand is Mountain and Reality Smasher. Well, they would just discard the mountain, so let's get the thing in the way of the Blood Braid. So you go. And I'll snap off a block here. Right, that was the new one. Did I mistrack their hand? Okay, no, they're just putting Gigant in their hand, which they can cast actually because it's red. So they can cast a 5/5. Hazaret? Bolt. Guess I'll say go. Inquisition doesn't actually take their Smasher. Here, you get to play a 5/5. Yep. This is going to be the second time this league I lose to an actual companion. Kroxa. Well, I wish I could escape my Kroxa now. Bet they ditch a mountain here, go to 13. They ditched the Smasher. Okay, so they got basic mountain in hand. I mean, I'll be able to buy a good amount of time trying to find the swamp by using the Pyromancer that I've got in the yard. That doesn't cast Eldrazi. They drew a Domri though. Jeez. Alright, well they're fighting. That's kind of good news because I can finish off the Domri with a bolt. So even a land here means we're exiling Pyromancers. Wow. That would have been good much earlier. Now it just gets smacked. Do I even play it? I mean, I guess it's a gain 5. Clear a non-swamp card off the top. If we can find one of the 3 other swamps and escape a Kroxa, I think we're doing well for ourselves. This has got to kill Chandra, yeah. Swamp. Hey, very nice. All right, so we'll keep the spells for potential magmatic channelers. I guess like the lands have literally no value in this deck, right? Neither does Planeswalker. Pyromancer obviously has some value. I guess we'll want second Kroxa just in case like this first one gets exiled or something. I do want to keep at least 3 spells. So there's Bolt, Push, other Bolt. Yeah, I guess we can get rid of Channeler. Right on time. There goes a Smasher. All right, our 6/6 is bigger than your 5/5. No. Oh wait, they don't have colorless. So they can't take it. Do I have an attack? The opponent has 1 card in hand and it's basic mountain, so they're at 11. I'm not dead on the crackback. I would be dead if they draw another Obligator or a Domri. Well, I have Seasoned Pyromancer to exile from my yard, so I think an attack here is actually good, because if they block, I can just re-escape a Kroxa and kill both of their things. Yeah, I'm going to attack. I mean, I'm assuming I've tracked their hand correctly. This basic mountain hasn't showed up again. So it should just still be this mountain. It was a Veil? Oh, this mountain was probably revealed off of the Cascade. That's probably what it was. So I think I'm going to cast Inquisition, even though I know it's not going to hit anything. Because I just want it in the yard at this point. There's the forest. Alright, so I think we're good here. So yeah, this block seems pretty fine. Mountain does nothing. They have to block. Alright, brick again. Not quite. Domery. I mean, they can fight the Kroxa. This is smart from them. So if I block, I stay at 9. If I don't block, I go to 3. Opponent can then has to fight my Kroxa, but Elemental is in play to kill the Domery for free. I mean, I just die to like Bolt and Bloodbraid if I don't block though. So I think I'm blocking. I mean, they have to trade this now, and I can just re-escape the Kroxa. Put the opponent to 2. Well, that was a good one. I think I'd rather just play this Pyromancer, so I'll exile the other Kroxa instead of ditching Mountain. Not great, but fine. Alright, so I mean, Blood Moon doing what Blood Moon does, winning us matches. Bird's not going to do it. Cool. So I mentioned in my previous 2 leagues of experience, I was really not super impressed by this deck. But in all honesty, I just really wasn't facing the matchups where Blood Moon was good. And like the every match that I've won with this deck feels like a spot where I wish I had I wish I'd had a Blood Moon more, or I just like had the Blood Moon and that kind of carried me. I mean, the 2 matches that I've played now that I've won have definitely been Blood Moon carrying me. I mean, I feel like Modern right now, it's just like it's like who has the deck that has the colors with the best cards in it. Which is maybe why Uro is so good, because like it's so easy to play other colors with Uro and you can get like all of the good cards, but like this deck, like the best card is Blood Moon. I don't think it's particularly close. Like no other card just wins the game by itself the same time. No other card like wins the game by itself when it enters play. And it does it immediately, too. Five land. No good. Better. I guess I'm going to ditch the Peatland. Don't really need a 3rd land the way this hand is set up. Probably get to it at some point anyway. Basic Mountain. Alright, well that makes me want to fetch Basic Swamp to cast this Thoughtseize. Well, the rest of my hand is red, so it's kind of awkward. I'll just have to make sure to get red with all my near future sources. So I wonder if this is some kind of prowess deck. They didn't have a 1-drop if they did. Oh, it's mono red prison. Alright, well, if the opponent exiles their spirit guide to play a bone crusher, I can just bolt it. The issue is if they exile spirit guide to play a rabble master, that could be harder to deal with. You know, I've got the Dreadbore for the Karn. I think it feels crazy to take the spirit guide here, but it does slow them down an entire turn. I think I'm gonna take the Rebel Master. Reason being is if they really feel like exiling the Spirit Guide to play a Bone Crusher, I'm pretty happy about that. That's kind of a 2-for-1 in itself. Like the 1/1 left behind by the Rebel Master is gonna be annoying. It also just would force me to use a turn to kill the Rebel Master. I mean, this way I just deal with it now, and if they want to 2-for-1 themselves to put a 4/3 into play, that's fine. I just don't think they'll do it. More likely than not, they use the Spirit Guide to play a Karn on turn 3. Which I can then just Dreadbore and get my 2-for-2 that way. Drew a push. Alright, I could just cast a Channeler here. Which is probably fine. Like if they get a Karn into play, they're gonna want to think I can pressure it in some way. So yeah, I'll play the creature that very conveniently doesn't get stomped to death by the Bone Crusher. Have you hit a land? They drew 2 Spirit Guides, okay. Funny. Coding. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna kill the Karn. The question is, how do I want to do it? Bolt can more easily kill the problematic creatures, so I guess I should just go for the Dreadbore. I guess I could have like pitched trying to find the land with a Channeler, but I think all the spells are probably good. Love that the opponent found another Spirit Guide and forced to basically 3-for-1 themselves. 3-for-2 if you count coding. Sure. Like if they want to cast the 4/3 here, that's a-okay. I'll just bolt it and keep on chugging. Unless I find a black source or any source. Oh, sure. Well, I could take the Bone Crusher that way, which I guess I should. And then Channeler can still attack as long as I have a card in my... As long as I have one more spell out of the yard. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna take the Bone Crusher. Leave you with a coding. And then do I want to be cheeky and bolt the opponent to get an additional point? I don't think so. I mean, in terms of ways to deal with this bridge, I don't have many. Like, a Liliana Ultimate will do it. Sure. And I think I will dig for the land here. I need to start working towards Ultimate, because at some point I can probably split it like bridge and everything else. And then they'll have to like keep only bridge, which is... kind of brutal on itself. This does nothing. Oh, I guess Hazard is actually a way to win, but unfortunately that one is not going to be castable. I guess Blood Moon doesn't actually do anything versus this opponent. I mean, it's possible that I'm going to want swamps of my own. But let's just because like the opponent could Blood Moon me, and then that make it so I can't Kroxa, and Kroxa is basically a lightning bolt. Nice, like right now I don't want to see like a Rabble Master or something. Legendary land, sure. These aren't attacking, so I might as well just activate. I need to find the land before I can find this other Hazoret. I mean, Krox is not actually attacking. Let me just play the land. Cause like I want Hazoret to be a live find. And I guess Seasoned Pyromancer helps me actually just draw it, so I want to keep the Pyromancer. Even if the opponent Rabble Masters, they can't even attack. Opponent has one card in hand. Oh, I found the Hazoret. Excellent. Plus, let's discard Kroxa. So next turn we can Liliana Ultimate, split the piles, bridge, and literally everything else. They're pretty much forced to keep the bridge or they're taking 11. With like a Kroxa getting escaped immediately after. And then if they keep the land, so if they keep the lands we get to crunch. If they keep the bridge then we're just kind of ahead anyway. So I'm going to put it literally bridge and everything else. They kept the bridge. Yeah, they kind of have to. I'm going to keep the cards in my hand as fodder for the Hazoret. And this Hazoret is going to be the way that I win. It's going to take some time to do it. In. You got 2 cards in hand. This doesn't exactly make for peak viewership, but I mean, we'll get there eventually. If you're debating whether or not to concede, please do. Top? That's fine. Yeah, there's like nothing that I'm like trying to dig for here. I see no real reason to actually end up sacrificing this peatland. Well, Bolt will just decrease the clock by like a turn. Sooner or later, we will kill them. I'm just gonna try to empty their hand, I guess. Sure. If I wanted to sack the peatland, I would have needed to have done it now, but it just really doesn't matter. Okie dokie, mono red prison. Definitely want these Kolaghan's commands. Engineered explosives actually seems like it could be pretty good. Feed the swarm is a way to kill an enchantment. I guess bridge isn't actually an enchantment, so that doesn't matter a whole lot. Chandra is another way to win the game through an ensnaring bridge, I guess. So maybe 5 things. Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes are going to feel really bad post sideboard. Let's 100%. We're getting rid of these Blood Moons. That much is easy. So it's just one more. Let's probably just ditch a Thoughtseize. These feel really bad later on in the game. We just really don't want too many of them. Is this a meme? No, it is not a meme. This is Rakdos Midrange. It is currently the 4th most popular deck in the modern metagame, at least according to MTG Goldfish. Here, I'll give you a peek real fast. Right here. This is where we're at, number 4. Ready for a big raid? I suppose. So yeah, I don't think we can keep this hand. Like, we've got the Thoughtseize to disrupt something early and the explosives to kill some hate pieces. But one land is too few. It's the pre-raid party. Hello. You going to bed? Alright. Yeah, I already texted you back.
My battery died as soon as I...
Just keep what we have. Yeah, that's fine. What's up? Thanks for the raid, Dylan. Welcome, everybody. This hand is much better. Based? I'm not sure what you mean. Dylan, thanks for the follow. Alright, so let us ship. Hazard's going to be one of the better ways we have to win through a bridge. But I mean, we've got the explosives to possibly beat a bridge. So let's just ditch the 4 mana thing. Dredge the bed. Thanks for the follow. And 1, 2, 3 door giveaway. Also, thank you for the follow. And Clerk, thanks for the follow. Spirit Guide, Ritual, Rebel Master. All right, well, I think I know how this game's gonna go. Wow, this is a raid. Thanks for the follow, Clerk. I really appreciate it, y'all. Yes, you have greatly contributed to the making of my day. Unfortunately, this game is a bit of a bummer. Dylan subscribed to tier 1. Thanks. You think you're happy that it's not time shifted commander? Is that popular? Thanks for the bits. Middies, yep. Definitely my record in terms of viewership. Definitely appreciate y'all coming by. Chalice. Okay, this game's just about over. See, what we do is we explosives on 0, we get to blow it all up, but this Rabble Master is still going to give us the hands. And then I'll wait till I get the extra goblin out of it. And I guess I have to set the stop beginning of combat before they attack, right? Because I don't want this thing growing when it also attacks. I'm just missing Waste Not. Yeah, kinda. Alright, so I'll let this resolve and then blow this up. I mean, if I can find fetch land, I can Fatal Push the Goblin Realm Master, and then I'm kind of in it. So, I mean, any way to revolt is going to be nice. Especially the fetch. I guess I didn't even get to Liliana. Damn, that was the window. It needed to happen there. Bummer. I would have been so ahead had I hit that. I guess I'm still not completely dead. I mean, I can hit it now. I'm taking 4 going to 7. I can kill the Rebel Master and leave a 1/1 in play. They don't have a great follow-up. Deck, why you do this to me? Alright, well, same situation. I'm gonna wait till I get this other goblin. Oh, and we're currently 2-1, by the way. I don't have that listed right on my page, but yeah, we're 2-1 right now. We beat Eldrazi Tron variants twice. And we had a round 1 loss to the hammer deck, the hammer combo. All right, we killed the thing. Am I okay? What? A light Terry? Not sure. Chalice, okay. I would still have a land. That's a castable. Cyclonic Rift. I know what that card does. The bane of every friend group playing Commander, right? I mean, the opponent had turn 1 Goblin Rattling Master, and somehow we're in this. Oh no. Hey, there's a land. Okay, so what here? I can just hold up Kolagon's command and then try to escape a Kroxa next turn off of a land, but I feel like I should probably start trying to do stuff here. I mean, the opponent hasn't done stuff, so I mean they've got to have like some removal in their hand that's been dead. They dismembered the first thing I did, so I mean Liliana plussing is probably good. Kolagon's command is probably going to kill just about anything in their deck. I guess Bone Crusher is a consideration. But I mean they've got Chalice on 1, so I guess push is just the most dead by a lot. Oh, 4 of you on a Discord, that's cool. They discarded Magus. Sure. You're here for the great facial hair? Well, I appreciate it. To be fair though, I do need to clean up a bit. I'm getting some scruff under here. I'm getting the itchies up top. I'll stroke it. This is a safe for work stream. Alright, so we are not able to escape Kroxa. We got 3 lands. I mean, so I need to pressure the Chandra somehow. We're at 2 instants and sorceries in the yard. Chandra can still just minus. Kind of thinking that I'm gonna have to deploy a channeler here just to get some attacking pressure down. Alternatively, I could just Pyromancer and get attacking pressure down that way. I want to keep the Kolaghan's Command, so I can ditch like Channeler Kroxa, but like I also want to plus. So I guess I could just see what I draw and then make the decision on what to plus after. So let's keep Kolaghan's Command, make some stuff. All right, that makes it a little easier. And then I guess I'm gonna want to keep the Bloodstained Mire because if the opponent Blood Moons me for whatever reason, I'm gonna want to be able to escape the Kroxa off of double basic. Oh, you know what? This is actually wrong though, right? Because if the opponent does 2 to me, I can't actually fetch this. Yeah, that was an error. Better not lose now. Well, I just made a little error, so. This Kolaghan's Command is gonna be pretty key though. What you gonna do? Rabble boy. Cast it. I dare you. They should probably just hit me. Especially since I have a fetch land in play. Yeah, okay, they just hit me with it. That's the last card. So, I mean, we can attack Chandra for 4, and then Kolaghan's Command will do the last 2. So I guess there's nothing I'm going to get back, right? Should I just draw step this, or should I buy back a Channeler? I think since I've drawn the Blood Crypt, that's going to make me want to escape the Kroxa next turn. So which means that the second mode on this should almost definitely be have the opponent discard a card. And I guess like the ultimate isn't actually worth a whole lot, and that would have me discarding a card. So I think I'm just going to go Blood Crypt tapped, and then I'll set a stop at the draw step. Oh, no, I can't, because I need to kill the Chandra, right? So, yeah, okay, so we'll do it this way. We'll attack Chandra, and then I guess the only other good mode is buy something back. So let's go Chandra. Oh, no, draw step works. What am I talking about? Yeah, because I just draw step, you discard, target your Chandra. So upkeep is fine. Then we go to draw step. Yeah, I've got the stop set. Draw step. Wow, there's so many options. All right, return no, discard no, target player discards, 2 to a target. Yes, that one. You discard 2 to a target. Watch, they're gonna discard like Glorybringer or something dumb. Just a mountain, sure. End of turn fetch, not really. Okie dokie. We need to dodge like lightning bolts and stuff, but it's not even clear the opponent is playing them. Alright, lands don't mean anything. Artifacts don't mean anything. Instants mean stuff for future channelers, but channelers don't mean anything. Done. We can plus. If they like play a bridge or something, we can ultimate them to separate the piles everything versus bridge. So I think we're in the clear, barring like a burn spell off the top, which I don't think Mono Red Prison even necessarily plays. They could just draw like another Chandra, that would do it. Rebel Master doesn't. We get to block the thingy, then we can just like edict it and kill him. So I think it's got to be Chandra or Bolt. They play Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher would do it. Bolt does not actually, because Chalice. So it's Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher Chandra. Bone Crusher Chandra. Fingers crossed. Hey, we did it. All right, 3-1. All right, so we beat Colorless Eldrazi. We beat Gruel Eldrazi. We beat this thing, Mono Red Prison, and we lost to Hammer Time. Thanks, Ember. That playing the Bloodstained the fetch land instead of the Blackleaf Cliffs almost really hurt me. Luckily, I drew a another mana source that didn't pain me. Yeah, let's go first. Yep. So I guess I'll just get basic swamp. I'm gonna want to get it for the Blood Moon anyway. Bunch of new follow as well. I think it was like 5, maybe more. There was a raid, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 bits and a sub. All great. Thank you very much, all. All right, so basic swamp. Thought Seize. Oh wow. So it looks like the spells version of Oops All Spells. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna take the fast mana, which is the Spirit Guide. Oh, this is annoying. I gotta like keep track of all this stuff. All right, so I guess all the like the dim boxes that are have white text are the ones that I can cross out. All right, so that's the Spike Field Hazard. I guess I'm not really gonna have a time to cycle these. I'll just play this. And then next turn try to get a Liliana going. Manamorphose is going to make the moon do actual nothing. Yeah, Dylan must be a pretty good boy. Was he streaming the commander? I think that was what someone had mentioned on the way in. All right, let's try to get to work on the hands, I suppose. They do to a degree need a critical mass, right? Because they need to ritual out a They need to be able to ritual out a Charbelcher and activate it in a turn. Normally it's modern. That's cool. Yeah, modern's my thing. My main deck is Jund, but it's obviously not super great at the moment. It was an interesting commander game. Was there shenanigans happening? Shenanigan commander games are the best kind of commander games. They played the Balagid Recovery. Alright, and they're casting Valakut Awakening. Or they cast this. Alright, so they've got 4 cards. Alright, well, we don't know that they have more Manamorphose, so like Blood Moon might actually do a thing now. Oh, or we could Hazoret. Hazoret seems good too. So now we can ditch Moon, just shock in a Blood Crypt and attack for 5. That's a clock. Thwack. The Luris Soft Clock with Waste Knot. That sounds interesting. Milling the Kozilek, yes, of course. Alright, so they're setting up the top of the deck. So I guess they're gonna go for a kill next turn, right? That's how this works. Yeah, those Eldrazi can be a pain in the neck for those mill strategies, I suppose, right? Alright, so they're gonna like set up what? Reforge the Soul on top and then a bunch of other stuff. I mean, I guess that reveal cards on the top of your library, reveal land card, put the card on the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom in an order. So they're gonna... So yeah, the Inquisition doesn't actually matter, right? Because the combo is on top. So I need to put that on the bottom. 4 Eldrazi in the deck, that's a lot. They were like one turn off of this Liliana being great. I guess I'm just gonna shock, play a Pyromancer, and see if I find something I don't know is in the deck. Colorless Commanders. Traxxas is a cool one. Does Thoughtseize save me in any conceivable way? Maybe they need the mana, who knows? I mean, we've got a lethal set of attacks next turn if we somehow don't die. So I guess here comes a Reforge. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume that they're gonna just like ritual off with the other cards they've stacked on top. Yeah. I mean, there are 2 Simian Spirit Guides down. This has to just be all rituals anyway. It doesn't really... This feels like I'm pretty dead. Another Spirit Guide, another ritual. Yep. Charbelcher. Yeah. Boo. Dead. Go put... Okie doke. I got okie doked. Alright, so... Oops, all spells. Does any of this do anything? I got... Yeah, Pithing Needle's great, right? It stops Charbelcher. Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do, right? Like, the whole deck is the same thing. Like, it's just rituals, lands, and air quotes, and then Charbelcher. Does explosives do anything? No, right? I guess if they can't activate the Charbelcher the same turn they put it into play, like Kolaghan's Command does something. Cling doesn't do anything, right? Neither does Feed. Like, they could have Leyline of Sanctity. Is that something these decks play? I mean, it's honestly probably... okay, so let's just take out the dead cards and see how much space there is. Sideboard does nothing. Fatal Push does nothing. Blood Moon does next to nothing. That has 7 things already that we can bring in. So actually 9. So there's the two needles. I guess Kolaghan's Command's better than nothing. In the off chance they've got the Leyline, I guess I would love an out to it. What's up, MTG Succulent? Yeah, we had a pretty sizable raid, and but it looks like I think over half of the people who raided stuck around, which I definitely appreciate. Does Moon shut down Spy and Informer? No, because they have Pentad Prism. They have outs to getting into play. Also, this version of the deck is not playing that. This is the Garblin, Charbelcher, and Ritual version. But yeah, they also sometimes play Manamorphose as well to produce colors. You see me get the 4-1? Well, the way that the opponent's deck is built, it's not entirely in my control. Alright, so I mean, I guess Cling is a card that cycles. I need one more thing. I mean, it's so inconsequential that, like, you know, let's just like throw an explosives in. I guess Spellbomb cycles. It doesn't feel great. You want the Kalidas? Kalidas costs 4 mana and only hits for 3, and there's no real way that it can grow, right? Because the opponent doesn't actually have creatures that die. We have no pressure, but we've got our mana and we've got like an out to Leyline if they for some reason have it. We've got Turn 1 Inquisition, 2 Kolaghan's Commands. Oh, they didn't have the Leyline. They have Pact of Negation. They have Charbelcher as well. I guess I'm gonna take the fast mana. Say go. And get rid of some of these duplicates. Yep, it's Belcher. Yeah, Inquisition's fine. I mean, the whole deck is pretty redundant. Like, it doesn't take the thing that matters, which is Charbelcher, but they have ways to basically tutor for or set it up like we saw last game. Alright, well, this is getting cycled, which is the reason it's here. So many clicks. Turn Timber. That one's gone. Cycle. Channeler. That's a threat. We needed a threat. More Blackleaf Cliffs. Alright, so this is gonna try to find more Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes and the like, probably. And it's I guess I'm gonna pitch Feed first, because like I need this to grow as quickly as possible, and Feed doesn't actually have any targets anymore now that they don't have Leyline, right? That was a new one. Valakut Awakening. Alright, well, we know nothing now. Alright, so these are things that are potentially in their hand. How many did they put? 4? Hey, that hits Charbelcher. I mean, if I hit Inquisition or Thoughtseize, I guess I would want to do that first. And again, I'm going to ditch the spells. Thoughtseize. There's Charbelcher. I guess I'd probably take Recross the Paths. It's like, I need to make sure they can't find the thing that would deal with the Pithing Needle. So yeah, let's take Recross the Paths. Here's what they got. Get rid of all this stuff. This can be Goblin, Charbelcher, right? Yep, Goblin, Charbelcher. You cannot activate the abilities. That's the deck, right? You can't beat the thing that says you can't activate your win con. Pretty stupid. Do I want literally just redraws over things that aren't redraws? Unfortunately, we didn't get to see if they've got Leyline in the deck. It's probably worth it to keep the Feed the Swarms in the off chance they do. Alright, let's see if we get the 4-1. Just surrender, yeah. This deck is ridiculous. Oof. I think we probably got a ship. This hand's missing 2 things. It's missing the land and it's missing the pressure. Like, interaction is good, but like we really need a land to turn on the rest of the hand. And even if we hit the land, we just don't have a way to actually meaningfully pressure the opponent. Ugh. Well, I can't keep this one either. Yes, this hand has a Pithing Needle in it, and that card is good. Let's spin a Pyromancer. I mean, I think I'm just going to keep Thoughtseize in the 2-mana play. Done. Yeah, it's fragile. I mean, that's why I took the Recross the Pass, is like they can stack their deck to have the answer to the Pithing Needle on top. Whereas like one needle just like answers all of the Charbelchers. Alright, so they've got Recross, Spirit Guide. Well, I guess I'm just going to take a Spirit Guide. They've got 2 Recross, so not much I can do about that. So much clicking. Can't I take the land? I could, but they've got more. So is there any way I die here? What basically do I have time to cast a Channeler here? I'll take a look at your list after the league ends. After I wrap up the recording, which is probably pretty soon. So do I have time to set up? I think I do, because unless they reforge the soul just like naturally, I'm gonna have a chance. Because like the reforge the soul plan takes a turn. So let's get the threat down, and then next turn for sure, not waiting any longer, just gonna slam Pithing Needle and name the thing. And for all watching who likes, if you like what you see, all of my videos, such as this one, are recorded and uploaded to my YouTube, and you can find all my social media accounts like right under my picture. All right, so yeah, let's needle here. They're off greens; they can't actually recross either. I guess let's we can try to find another Inquisition or Thoughtseize off of this mountain before we do that. Take our pick. Yep, gotta take Nature's Claim. Alright, and then I think I'm going to bolt the opponent end step because one more spell after this bolt means that the Channeler is a 4/4, and that's actually a clock. Alright, so this should be it, plus the Manamorphose. Appreciate it, Ember. Alright, so I think I could beat the first Nature's Claim. I don't know that I can beat the second one, assuming they've got a second one. Alright, I guess we get to kind of see. They did have Leyline. Alright, so they've got Veil, that doesn't do it. They got Reforge, obviously. Oh, they do have one more Nature's Claim. So I mean, if I can find other Pithing Needle, will be good. Appreciate it also, Speed Force Punch. All right, so they're setting up Reforge into presumably Nature's Claim into all the other stuff. All right, we don't want that. Put it on the bottom. So if we find our other Pithing Needle, I think we're good. And if we don't, I think we're gonna get ritualed out. All right. Well, I mentioned I was gonna bolt the opponent end step. I ended up not. That was just me forgetting. But I think I'm gonna try to just find. All right, Liliana doesn't do it, right? I mean, I guess I'm casting the Liliana over the bolt. It's not great. Liliana. I mean, yeah, like they've got second Nature's Claim. I don't think I was beating second Nature's Claim. All right, Reforge. I'm assuming they're going to be able to Reforge into enough mana to go off here, right? They just need like 3 rituals and Ironcrag Feet, and that's kind of it. I mean, each ritual is +1. Ironcrag Feet is +2. Yeah, that's it. They just need the they need the Claim and the Belcher, but they put it on top. So like here's the Claim and there's the Belcher. Oh, they didn't have it? Aren't they able to set it up? Was there not a pile that did it? I guess there wasn't a pile that did it. Okay. Alright, so for those who are new here, I like to do a deck tech / wrap up for purposes of the recordings that I put on my channel, which you should subscribe to. So let's real fast do that. So here's the deck. So this is my third run through with the deck, second on camera. The actual second league I did, again, I accidentally, like, my internet went out and Streamlabs decided to stop recording for that reason. Guy deserved it. Screw Charbelcher, yeah. They generally stack Empty the Warrens with a haste spell. Wow, I actually haven't seen that pile before, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, Blood Moon I think definitely was the best card in the deck, not particularly close. The 2 leagues that I did prior to this were both 2/3s, and I think it's because I think 4 out of 5 matches that I got in those other leagues, like Blood Moon, just wasn't good. And then in this particular league, 3 out of our 5 matches, Blood Moon was very good. And then the other times that we played against the Hammer deck where it wasn't good, and we played against this most recent deck where it wasn't good. But we had our Pithing Needle, which was very good to shut off the only card the opponent had in the deck. Apparently, that could have won in the game. So our sideboard cards came in clutch, and Blood Moon came in really clutch. I like the aspect of the deck in that it has lots of ways of converting things that are bad into things that are hopefully good. So like if Blood Moon is ever a dead card, you've got ways like Channeler, Hazoret, and Seasoned Pyromancer, and Liliana the Veil to hopefully convert that into a net positive instead of just doing actual nothing. So I like that aspect of it. I don't think the cards in this deck are ridiculously powerful individually, but I mean, they definitely have some stuff going on when they work together. I think the only real card in this deck that is I guess like an 8 out of 10 or higher on its own is the Blood Moon, and that has been the card that has overperformed the most, at least in the sample size of 5 matches, which was this league. So I'm happy for sure with the Blood Moons, and I think this is an excellent shell for it. And the sideboard was great. I guess moving forward, things I'd probably change in the sideboard. I didn't really have a good spot for the Kalidas. The Klings weren't fantastic. I don't think I ever brought them in except for when they were literally just cantrips. The Chandra came in a couple times, but in the slower grindy matchups. But given the texture of the deck, I'm not really sure that the slower grindy matchups are a thing that the sideboard needs to take into consideration and make better. Like maybe more percentage points can be gained by gaining some ground in other areas. But I mean, it's probably fine for now. And again, this list is completely copy and pasted off of a list that I found a few days ago, and I gave credit to the original author in the first recording. So if you want to figure out who made this contraption, I mean, you can find it there. The Kolaghan scans were excellent. They came in a number of times. We didn't fight against any like heavy sideboard, any heavy graveyard strategies, but had we, I assume these cards would have been excellent. And the explosives were really good. We actually we won we ended up winning an unwinnable game versus the mono white Hammer Time opponent, because they had like double Auriok Champion and like a Stoneforge and a bunch of other stuff. We just top decked this and blew up all of their creatures, and then ended up climbing back to win, and that was really insane. So explosives did really well. I think as long as I'm not playing Plague Engineer, I kind of need explosives as an answer to things like the Auriok Champions, because like otherwise there's just not a way that this deck punches through it. It's got protection from literally the whole deck, and it's pretty annoying. So I mean, that's gonna be it for the purposes of this recording. I really appreciate all the new faces. I enjoyed talking to y'all in chat, and thanks to all for the new subs and the new follows. And until next time, I will see ya and Jund them out, or in this case, Rakdos them out. See ya.